Okay, welcome to Harry's chess segment, where I intend to help people learn how to play chess. Now, it's not a real complicated game as people think. I'm not a grandmaster. I rate myself as an intermediate player. I'm probably about between 16 and 1800. Grandmasters are around about 2,500, somewhere around about there. But I've been sort of interested in chess all my life. I learnt it when I was about 6 or 7. I think Dad taught me. And I'm actually in the process of teaching my wife, Kimbra. And we're learning on this very wall board which I made. I actually made these pieces myself and designed them and put this thing together. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. Now, lesson number 1 today is, what are the pieces? Well, your first line of pieces, first of all, when you set your board up, you always have to have the white square in the bottom, in the right hand corner. Okay, so if I'm playing, if I'm standing here and looking down at the board, the white, just think white is right. White is always in that corner. The second thing is, so that's the main thing, and when you're setting up, if you're wondering, how all the pieces line up, if you start off with the queen is always on her colour. So, example, this is my red queen, or white, and it starts on her colour there, on the white square, and then you can line everything up from there. If you have it around this way like this, that's wrong. Queen always has to be on her colour. So you'll see that this queen up here is on a dark square because she's a dark queen, okay? And the queens line up and the kings line up. So that's pretty important. Okay. Oh, well, the sun's coming through. Fantastic. We've just had buckets of rain here. It's been pretty like the rest of Australia, or particularly Victoria and the east coast of New South Wales. We've had lots of flood and lots of rain, and it's been pretty crazy. We get bouts of sunshine here in Sisters Beach, Tassie. We'll get some strong sunshine, then we'll get buckets of rain, then sunshine, rain. Now it's supposed to sort of even out as we go a bit further on through the year, but yeah, it's all over the place at the moment. Anyway, so these little guys here, these are the pawns, right? And they're your front line of defence. So there's 8 pawns, and we'll start off with the pawns before I even introduce the other pieces. The pawns can only move in one direction in a straight line like this, right? Okay, only in one direction. And on their first move, they can actually jump. They can actually move 1 square or 2 in a row. Okay, it's up to you to choose. Once you've done the double, you can't do another double. Then from then on, it's only 1 square at a time. So that's the pawn. The other thing with the pawn is, as you're marching along and you move them, you can only take. Say I move my pawn here, I can only take it at an angle. Right, like that. This is the lesson I gave my wife Kimbra yesterday. So as the pawn's coming up, like say I move there, I can only take a piece. If black's coming down like this, I can't. If he's there, I can't take him. I can only take him if he's at an angle, there or there, right? And vice versa. If he's there and it's his move, he can choose to take me, right? And then he moves there like that. Yeah, because a lot of people think that, oh yeah, the pawns can take sort of like jump over or whatever. No, they cannot do that. The only other pawn move, or your lesson for today, is probably the most complicated. I've even played some intermediate chess players that don't know this rule, and it's called in passing or en passant. In passing means if this pawn comes down, 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 and he gets to there, and I still haven't moved these. But say it's my turn, and I want to do the double move, which I'm allowed to on my first move. So I'm sort of cheating in a way. I'm bypassing him. Instead of taking him, I'm sort of... Sorry, correction. If his pawn's there... Correction. I'm getting confused myself here. If his pawn's there, and instead of coming here to, as a conflict, like he could take me or I can take him down the track, if I do the double move to bypass him, he can then go to the position he would have normally gone to if he took me, and he's allowed to do that and take me off the board. It's called impassing. So I'll just show you that again. So he's there. Now instead of me going there, and he's got the option, giving him the option to take me, I do the double move and bypass. Then he has to do it on the next move. He can't sort of wait a while then do it. He can actually say en passant, he can go there and take me off the board. Okay, so I know it's a bit sounds a bit complicated and looks complicated, but it's not really once you remember it. So that's the only thing with the pawns. I won't go into the strategies, but they're all the same. They all march, boom, boom, boom. And the only other one thing to remember is if you get your pawn all the way up to the other end of the board without it being taken, which is not easy, you can nominate, once it gets to the end of the board, a bit like checkers or drafts, you can promote your pawn to any piece you want. I haven't told you about the pieces yet, but the queen is the most powerful. This one here, she's the most powerful. She's worth 9 points and can go anywhere on the board. So generally what you do is, if you get that pawn all the way up, you promote it straight to a queen straight away, because that gives you the biggest advantage. Okay, well that wraps up my chess instruction for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and next time we'll go into the pieces, how the pieces move. Okay, thanks very much. I can hear some lovely birds singing in the background. That's great. Okay, bye.